วัสดีค่ะ Joel, you've been in Asia for like 7 years, teaching people, coaching people, making them having a better life. I would want to know how did you do that? What's the guarantee of that?
Producers have brought me here for 7 years, Singapore and KL, because I enable people like this guy to do things that were inside him, but that he wasn't able to bring forward. He now has systems where he can communicate. He teaches sales, negotiation, and persuasion, which I teach. He has written his books, which I enable my students to produce literally in a weekend. The woman sitting to my left, Macy, this is her brand new book. She came to an event and learned that the excellence inside her could be translated. Even her calling card, right here, she enables women, mothers who want to raise their children to make a tremendous amount of money from the home without compromising their life, going to work 12, 15 hours a day, often being disrespected. That's her business. She enables mothers to stay at home and make a ton of money. Via over here is a business turnaround expert, and you can see her book, newly branded and positioned. She has her systems and her tools, and when someone says to her, "It's a pleasure meeting you," she gives them not her business card, but something I call the emotional card. And that enables them to differentiate themselves and set themselves apart. So what I've taught people to do in Asia is to differentiate themselves so they stand out. So people take them seriously at the first point of contact. I enable them to present themselves in a way that is unforgettable at the first point of contact, and then to persuade those who normally would ignore them. And then finally to preserve these mission critical relationships long term. This Sunday, at absolutely no charge, the amazing producer you see over there, Shanna, who's also one of my graduate students, has brought me here, and at tremendous expense to him, at one of the finest hotels here, we're going to be training people, and it is not a sales event. In fact, some of the top trainers that you see here who have visited Bangkok and other areas of Thailand, I've trained. I've trained 1,300 of the world's top communicators. Tony Robbins recently sent his son to me for training. Robert Allen, top female communicators, and they come to me to define their purpose. And then they come to me to systematize so that they have websites that are producing huge amounts of income. The gentleman right here, this is David Schwab, has run over 10, 11 events now. His father wanted him to go through a traditional education. He negotiated with his daddy and said, "Please allow me to find the people I want to educate me." He chose me, and as a result now he's able to generate massive income, and he doesn't have to worry about getting a job through traditional education with no loyalty necessarily. He is in his own business at age 20, and people 3 times his age are coming to him for advice. So I enable people to define the thing that's inside them, the thing that drives them, their passion. And I would love you to know something which I didn't tell you. If anyone contacts the television station, Shanna, the producer who brought me here through Louis Pinto, the gentleman you see there, who has produced millions of dollars in sales using my techniques, whose wife, Jeannie Pinto, now has a business where she's turning down jobs in Asia, in Singapore. She generates a 6-figure income while raising her child. She never needs to leave the house, and also generates, and she's teaching other women now how to produce the same results so that they don't have to compromise their lives. They can be extraordinary mothers and also have extraordinary purpose in their life beyond. Because let's face it, when you raise your kids and they're all grown up, if you compromised all that time and you left the workforce, sometimes you lose sense of purpose. And so it's very important for women that they're passionately involved with their career, raise their children. So she's systematized that. Via over here, there's no stopping her. She takes businesses that are going under, who have no idea how to reverse that. They're about to go bankrupt. And she turns them around. She has her brand new websites up. She's objectified and clarified this process. She's one of the world's top coaches at doing this. The woman you see right here, Macy, she's taking mothers who had a dream and they were going to sublimate. They were going to bury that dream and she's enabling them to raise their children and live at home on their own terms and generate significant income. Shanna, who teaches online investing strategies, conducts his own workshops, was able to find the emotion and relate to the heart in presenting his process now here in Thailand. He's a local, and he's loving what he's doing. Last night, all of them attended a VIP session, which nothing was sold. I just train people. I give them what I have, and I can afford to do so. I have a belief that once you've made all the money you needed, and I retired at age 33, I'm 53 years old, father of 3. Once you've made all this money in life and you have the beautiful homes and the beautiful cars, there's only one thing left to do. Give it back. Do something with it. I worked with Bill Gates. I've worked with Larry Ellison. I've worked with Michael Dell. I worked with Steve Jobs. He recently passed away. And we need to realize something. He said, Steve Jobs would say in person, if you do not follow your heart, you will never be happy. And so in Asia, the reason I come here is I have had women, after training them only for a few hours, come up to me in tears, and they're hugging me. I've had men hugging me, telling me that they were actually suicidal, that they had no purpose. They didn't know what their purpose was in their life. And that this event, in less than 3 hours, and we're doing this Sunday, not only gave them motivation and inspiration, that's great. It gave them something more. It gave them the moves that they could make to change the quality of their life. And so we are inviting, at our expense, and no one needs to buy anything, to come and to allow me to transfer my life skills that have empowered Macy, who's had all this extraordinary knowledge and talent inside her, and Via, who's done incredible things, but it's been concealed because she has so much more to give. Her book, she will tell you, was on a shelf, but that wasn't doing any good. Now, what have you been able to do?
I start from the power of vision, and the next step is to help people to enable their strengths and turn their idea and dream into a profitable business.
So how do you think that this has changed you significantly inside of you?
It helped me to do everything from my heart and empower me to be focused and believe what I'm doing and have the vision that I really can impact the other people's life.
What's amazing with Via is that before the training, before this passion to profit training, before this, she's learned to design her destiny versus living in default. Because very often, and education is so important here in Asia, but the one thing they leave out of education is how to make a living, how to actually make the money. They'll give you the certification, you'll get the designations. I show people the mechanics of creating their own brand and then monetizing themselves online and offline. Macy right here, her brand new book, Give Yourself a Choice, Mummy, and her brand new website, moneymoms.com. Well, this is amazing. She has set up an online organization of mothers who can rely on each other, that actually support each other. Tell them more about this.
Yeah.
Okay, this is a club that I aim to help mothers. I want to encourage them and empower them to actually make a choice that they can actually stay at home, earn from home, and then without compromising the integrity of raising their own children.
So, and how's the feedback of that? How is it right now? Are
right
you
now,
enjoying so far?
Sorry, are they enjoying? Or?
Are you enjoying doing this so far?
Oh, definitely.
With the passion and everything?
Definitely, because I'm a mother of 2, and I can totally understand how precious every moment you can ever spend with your children. And I don't want mummies who goes to work and they miss that moment that, oh, it's their first potty training, and then it's their very first step, their first word, but they're working. So I really want to impart all that I know to mummies who wish to watch all those moments and then tell them, develop a system for them, and then it'll be step by step, and I'll be guiding them.
Macy is following her purpose, meaning this is her passion.
Right.
There's nothing, am I correct? There's nothing you'd rather be doing.
Yeah.
She jumps out of bed in the morning and she's excited. How many people jump out of bed in the morning loving what they do and they get to monetize it, so money is not a concern, And they're able to help all these other people. So women are able to pursue their dreams now through her process. With Via, she takes people, they're about to go under. Their employees are miserable, and they don't understand what they need to do to turn their entire business. I mean, this is the money channel, let's face it.
Right.
Bottom line is, if we don't show people how to monetize their passions and how to do something with meaning and purpose, we fail.
Right.
She's able to take a business, look at it through a different perspective, and turn it around. And so my systems enabled her to clarify and to completely structure her approach. Now, they will go on television, radio, newspaper, and magazines. They will help other people. They will not do it for the money. The money is a natural result of what I teach. They'll do something they love. 1,000th of 1% of 1%. I've trained over 1 million students internationally, and now for 7 years I've returned to Singapore, KL, and now I'm coming here to Thailand because Shanna, who met me through Louis Pinto, the master graduate, my most senior graduate, wants me to come here. And so they said, please come. I'm spending a week here, and all I'm doing is helping students here for free to learn my processes. Both Macy and Via last night flew in last minute, and they only took a one-way ticket. So they're here knowing that we're going to empower them even further to clarify their message. I wanted them to come on the television show today, not for me, but to celebrate them. The only thing that sets me apart from the other trainers that so often visit Asia is I make sure that my students succeed. I make sure that it's not just a show, but that the techniques are implemented and they're stable. So money rolls in.
Right. And the core problem here is that people, they don't know what they want to do in life. They don't have any passion. Can you share some important keys here, like how to boost morale or motivation or passion to live life?
Yeah, absolutely. The big question is always, what if you only had 1 hour, 1 day, or 1 week to live your life? What would you do for free if money was no concern? I have a very exacting process that I've been teaching for 31 years at the Passion to Profit event, which we're bringing to Thailand. And in fact, I believe it's the first time producers have ever done this. The cost of attending that event in a couple months, they're only allowing people to cover the cost of the rental. What I mean by that is it's not profit-based. We are giving people this ability to define their passion, to monetize it, to build their websites, to generate incredible relationships, to own their own businesses, to become solopreneurs and entrepreneurs, or within the workplace to accelerate a raise, or to do the job with an extraordinary level of passion that they've never had before. And this happens in 2 days and 2 nights. This Sunday, 100% gift. We invite anyone to go to Joel Bauer, Thailand.com. JOELBAUER, Joel Bauer, Thailand, which I'm sure you'll have here.
Right.
And it's a gift. And I will also make sure they send you gifts to the television station here. If people contact you, they can download these gifts and receive free training, even if they cannot attend.
That's very, very interesting, especially when in this era of the generation that people sometimes are hopeless and desperate in everything. So this is such a great timing for a millionaire maker like you.
Do we still have a second before we break?
Sure.
Because what blew me away is the first time I came back to Asia, I was at the university campus. You were there.
Right.
In the front row, and I got very depressed that night. And I don't get depressed easily. Everyone was sitting in the audience
Like this.
like this, and I was getting no emotional response. And so I thought that I wasn't communicating very well. I thought that perhaps I didn't belong in Asia. And that night I said to myself, I have to go back tomorrow morning. I made a promise. I never go back on my promises. I start on time. I always over-deliver. I give them all that I have. And I went back and they sat there for the second day, the same way, and I thought I was failing. And many times people feel like they're failing, and they're wrong. I was wrong. At the end of the day, 326 people stood in line for 4 hours And they hugged me and kissed me in Asia, which is women almost in Berkeley. I mean, it was a little strange. And they were so appreciative because they knew that what they'd been gifted,
Right.
they knew what they'd been awarded at that event was going to change their life. And that's where I had 2 women tell me that they were suicidal and that they felt like they wanted to live now because they knew what to do. They found their meaning. They found their mission in life. And that's all I needed to hear. I came back to Singapore, I came back to KL, and I've come back now on 3 tours, and I want to come to Bangkok now, and I so hope that the people listening right now will have an opportunity to train with me. I come to you with gifts.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you for being here. It's such an honor to have all you guys here, especially you, Joel Bauer. Thank you very much. Thank you.